What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another video. I'm Brandon with EndFaze Games, and I wanted to put out a sorcery news video since over the weekend the Dust Store updated, and I think there's another list of other things that I wanted to talk about to make sure everybody knows what's going on in the world of sorcery. So Friday, it looks like the Dust Store updated, and it updated with some very cool stuff. It wasn't anything that really surprised us. It was kind of what they previewed before. But they updated it with a 4-pack of Foot Soldiers, a 3-pack of Briar Patch, a Camelot foil, a Druid 4-pack foil pack, a King Arthur pack. I think there was one more thing. Warhorse. Warhorse was just a 1-pack of just one of those, and that's kind of the one that I think a lot of people are going to be after, along with the Druid. And then there was a crazy 25,000 dust painting. I can't remember what it was right now, but somebody bought it. That's super cool that that's even an option. I know when the Dust Store first released, they had a thing for an alpha box. So it's always cool that they always have one of these big ticket items. So it's pretty important that when you get your dust, put it into your account. That way you don't have to, struggle or rush like when the Dust Store updates eventually, and then you got to insert a bunch of dust codes, something like that. Over the weekend also we had the Unland Cup, which is I guess a part of Sorcery Con. I guess it was like sort of like a smaller tournament comparatively to Sorcery Con from last year. But we don't have much information as far as what happened there so far. I'm sure that we could go online and see who won certain events from the Play Store and stuff like that. But I don't believe there's any streaming, so I don't know if anybody that attended the Unland Cup could post a few videos or deck lists or what kind of that event ended up being like. But that happened over the weekend. Also, we have coming up in 2 weeks, we have the Explorer Series rolling into Columbus, Ohio at 5-6 games. And just as a quick reminder, I know it says it on the tournament page and with all the info and everything, but the Ring of Morgan and Archmago are banned from that event. So just adjust your decks accordingly. You're not going to be playing Archmago, so just take the ring out of whatever you're playing and come up for a good time and play some Explorer Series sorcery. That event is also going to be followed by one in July. I believe it's July 19th, and that's at the Feisty Goblin. That's going to be in Pennsylvania, so that one will be coming up. I don't think there's anything banned out of that right now, but obviously you can look it up on the Play Network and see where that event is exactly, and if anything is banned or what the pricing is, that kind of thing. In a bit of like different news, I guess there's some sort of event where over in Sweden or somewhere, Eric's Curiosa had like a promo reprint of the card Eric's Curiosa in Sweden or in Swedish, and I guess some people were upset about that. Like, I guess they were saying like that this is a reprint and it's hurting the value of the original Eric's Curiosa and all of that. And I'm gonna kind of touch on it on the next topic as well, like with the Avatar Championship cards. But I don't think these special cards hurt the value of the original at all, especially in one like this. Like with the growth of the game, these cards are eventually going to get printed in, Japanese, hopefully in other language, French, Spanish, whatever. We want the game to grow. I don't think a different printing in a different language really hurts the value of your original Eric's Curiosa. And to piggyback off of that, with the Avatar Championship cards in these rainbow foils, I guess some people were getting kind of worked up about them being like a different kind of foil, and with the possibility of the alpha avatars getting reprinted as well. So these cards are a little bit different. You can look them up online, but whoever wins, I think it's just the top 4 of the Crossroads event. So like at Gen Con will be your first opportunity to win these. So let's say if you win with a Avatar of Air or a battle mage, you're going to receive the avatar that you came in the top 4 with as your prizing, as part of your prizing. In a rainbow foil, you'll receive an avatar of air with a cool little, like, a cool printing of something on the card, but it won't have a text box. So I believe like the battle mage says something like you smack down the realm or something like that. I don't think these are gonna hurt the value of the originals at all with the alphas. I think these could actually end up being worth a ton more if somebody does get an alpha avatar to the top 4, which I think Avatar of Air probably has the best chance. But I just don't know what all everybody getting all worked up about new versions of cards. Like, what are they supposed to give you? Like, not everybody's into just like the paintings or the prints or this and that. Like, usually prizing for card games are cards, and usually they're just different printings or promo versions of existing cards, like with a stamp on them, something like that. So I think this is a pretty cool thing. I really hope I can get the chance to win one of these in the future. I think it's going to be super tough with Gen Con being, 128 player tournament now, and the games, I don't think it's going to go I don't think it's going to go backwards. I think these tournaments are going to keep growing, which leads me to my next topic of Gen Con and Dragon Lord. There's, tons of new players, and I think at the last checking on this, I think there were like 7 or 8 Crossroads events tickets available. So if you haven't registered yet, please do so soon, because I think this is going to sell out pretty soon. And then we also have Dragon Lord releasing at Gen Con as well. There's still no price point for that, which is kind of frustrating. I'm hoping that they'll, release some sort of price point soon, so that way players and, people who are going to Gen Con can budget a little bit for, what they're going to buy sorcery wise and what they can save for other games, that kind of thing. We don't have a Gothic release date, but we're assuming that we're hoping / assuming that it's going to be around the Halloween time. And Rudy did some sort of video a couple days ago, and he mentioned, I'm sure he's just guessing like the rest of us, but he's probably saying it to where, Gothic is supposed to release around Halloween time. That's kind of the release window for a sorcery set so far. So with the flavor of Gothic, I'm hoping that they can do that. But personally, I think it's probably going to get pushed a little bit to be near the Avatar of the Realm tournament, which will be next year. So there's always that. I'm not really looking in too far into what Rudy said, but fingers crossed that it can release this year. But I won't be mad if it gets pushed to like Q1 of 2026, something like that. Cornerstone event should be popping up near the end of the year. My store at Thieves Guild, we submitted our date, which I believe will be we're gonna shoot for December 20th. Which I think is the Saturday before like Christmas week, something like that. And then we have some others that are planned. If you're in the Explorer series Discord, you can find some of the Cornerstone dates, I believe, within the Discord. But I can try and type out some of those eventually in a pinned comment or something. Overall, right now with everything that I've talked about and everything that's going on, I think we're seeing a lot of game growth overall. A lot of the events are nearing selling out at Gen Con, especially with the Crossroads being the main one. There's going to be a constructed event on Sunday that isn't posted yet, but I think that's just going to be like a 32-player Cornerstone event. But I'm assuming with it just being constructed only and not a split format, I think that's going to, fill up quickly as well. And yeah, I just think the game it's firing on all cylinders right now. I'm having a ton of fun playing online and in person, just testing for, the Explorer Series event coming up and for Gen Con as well. I think Gen Con's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see a lot of new faces, a lot of similar faces, and hopefully, we'll have a great time there and crown some new champions. Moving forward, I think in a probably a couple weeks. I don't want it to be too early, which I think right now it actually might be a little bit too early. I'll probably wait till like August or September. I want to do a Gothic predictions video, just something along the lines of what I'm thinking is going to be in Gothic and what I can expect from it, that sort of thing. So just wanted to throw that out there. Let me know down in the comments below if I missed anything, or if you got a different viewpoint on anything. I'd love to talk about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.